the way.
We're wanted men.
I have spoken.
We don't get the really nice voice again this morning,
Oh.
Jason.
What do they do?
I don't know. The Zoom, I'm not happy with Zoom lately, but whatever. It's free and I can't complain when it's free.
Can't be free.
Yeah. How you been this week, man?
Oh, this is a stressful week. It looked like you had the same based
Dude,
on your
it's-
Instagram.
Yeah. Yes. When you go out to beers on a Friday night and you go, do you want the tall beer? And your answer is yes.
I'll have the taller beer, please.
Yes. It's been a stressful week.
Stressful just in jobs and life, or
It's just
stressful in Star
life.
Wars?
Just
I had a
stressful.
stressful.
Go ahead.
No, go.
No, it's just stressful life, just personal stuff going on at the house. My daughter's moving out, and
No.
it's just the apartment that she's supposed to get with her dad was supposed to be ready a week ago, and now it's ready, and everything's been in a holding pattern, and it just I don't like holding patterns, and I would not make a good Jedi because I am not a patient person.
Neither am I.
So
Yeah.
it's just been stressful, and dealing with
Sorry.
16-year-old girls are stressful, and
I hear that.
yeah.
Sorry. Sorry to hear all that.
So how was your week? Why was your week stressful in Star Wars?
Oh, because the Black Series Clone War Target thing is hitting the stores, and it's just a mess.
Is it? How bad is it?
It's really bad. I mean, I've written down some thoughts just because I wanted to be clear and concise. But and not spoiler warning, but soapbox warning. I will be getting on my soapbox in a few minutes here. But I mean, I must have hit a dozen targets this week. There was no street. The street date's supposed to be Sunday, May 23rd. Is that what tomorrow is? Today's the
Yeah,
22nd.
I think so. Today's the 22nd, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's supposed to be the 23rd, according to Yak Face, is supposed to be the day that these things drop, but they weren't registered lock. And it was just pandemonium. I mean, if you go on the Facebook Marketplace and eBay, people are selling these things for $7,500 a piece. Get them as low as $50 if you're lucky.
Jeez.
But we're all trying to beat the scalpers. So and then the other thing that's adding to it is, you know, we have a community, a strong Star Wars community, and I'm looking out for three other people. Three other people are looking out for me. We're all trying to race and get to these things before their scalpers grab them. And you don't know if you go at 8 a.m. when they start to put things out, or if you go at 6 o'clock in the afternoon after the trucks arrived, and you're going to get a good Target employee who's going to go back and grab the stuff for you.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I wrote some of this stuff down. I didn't read anything. The community is one of the big things that I really appreciated this week. Jordan Gasly was able to find me something and hold it for me. He also tipped me off to a Target that had just gotten stuff, and DJ was helping me try to find things, and Tim Connor and Mark Rusciano were on the hunt, and they were looking out for me, and I was able to pick up some pieces for them. So I think the best story of the week is just the community that we were able to fall back on and rely on and help each other out, which is great. Because the scalpers suck, but
you were trying to describe them in a very PC term with me through the week. So.
I was like, what other word can I use besides this one? And you're like, just call them not nice people.
Well, I have a friend who used to work at Chick-fil-A, and I'm like, what do you call these? And he goes, we used to call them not nice people, because you couldn't even say gosh darn it at Chick-fil-A.
Right.
And
it's too close.
Yeah, you get close, people would get mad at you, or you get written up, or heck, you'd even get fired. So,
jeez. But Target announced that they're no longer selling Pokemon cards because of these scalpers buying them up and turning them right around to sell for a profit. And it cuts out the kids that are supposed to get these things, and they're leveraging the love that someone has for an item to put themselves in between Target and the end user to make a quick buck. And they really don't care about how much you love something. They're going to take advantage of that love to line their own wallets. And I think that they're not nice people. and that's why I do everything I can to avoid scalpers. And like I said, Target's going to stop selling Pokemon cards, and these scalpers are corrupting the collecting. They're corrupting a collecting group. Luckily, it's not Star Wars at this moment, but who's to say Star Wars isn't next? It's ridiculous. I mean, I was at Target yesterday. So I was at work and I saw someone posted in the Georgia Collective group that there was a Obi-Wan Kenobi at Atlantic Station. And I'm like, that's too far to go at lunch. So I went to another Target. They didn't have anything. I had gone the day before. Like, it's just like hitting these Targets over and over again. Hey, can you check this DCPI number? That's their special number for looking things up. And they didn't have it. And then I'm like, well, how far is this Atlantic Station Target? 15 minutes, I can do that. So I get all the way down there. And all they had were Hawks, and I already had Hawk, but I'm like, I can get one for Tim and Mark Rusciano, so I picked that up. And some shopper walks up, he's like, she's getting me more. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, the woman went in the back and grabbed some more. So I'm like, oh, really? So she comes back with an Echo, and the clones are the tough ones to find because everybody wants the clones, and they've made 1 billion versions of Anakin and Obi-Wan. And she's like, yeah, I'll be right back. She started laughing it off. So I'm like, this is a nice lady. I really appreciate it. So she comes back with Echo for me. And I'm like, I came here for Obi-Wan and I got something I think better because, like I said, I think the clone ones are going to be the tough ones to find. And I'm walking out and the dude walks up to me like I'm walking through the bedding. And he walks up. He's like, hey, I have an Obi-Wan. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I bought a couple extra Obi-Wans. And I'm like, he's not going to sell it to me for $25 and I'm not going to entertain it. I'm like, no, I'm good. Cause I know he's trying to scalp it.
Right.
Cause it felt like I was at the Braves stadium and they're like, hey, you want tickets? You want tickets?
I got 2 tickets.
Like, no, I'd rather not buy Obi-Wan than buy it from you.
Right. Yeah. That's what I kind of did the same thing with on Macari, because I've been looking for a portable recorder for the show instead of dragging my big computer system out when we do, live feeds or when we're at a convention. I can start getting better audio than through my phone. I don't have to worry about my phone dying, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I had found one that the guy was wanting like $42 for. So I went on Macari, and I'm really bad about when you hit make an offer on Macari, it gives you 3 options. So it came to like $32. And the guy was being a not nice person because he was just like, all right, game on. And he was like, dude, sell it to me. I'll sell it to you for $40. And he was just being a jerk. And, as soon as he said, all right, Glenn, game on, and was like, dude, I'm not buying this from you because you're being a jerk. Right. And so I ended up paying more money from a guitar for buying it used from a music shop, but I've got a little bit of a warranty on it. So if it doesn't, I got like 7 days, make sure it works and all that stuff. But, then 2 or 3 days later, I kept watching it and it ended up selling for like $33. So I was like, dude, you should have just sold it to me.
Right.
And been done with it and stopped being a jerk. Cause there you go. It bit you.
And the other thing is like, you're just making like literally a quick buck with this because you're not going to be retiring after making a sell for something like that or selling a Clone Wars figure for an extra $25. You're just being an asshole. I mean, a Kowakian butt monkey. Kowakian monkey butthole is what I'm trying to say. You can bleep that out, hopefully.
You said it, though. That's what's even better.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, really, like, what are you doing? It's just $20.
I don't know, dude. Some people, $20 is a lot of money.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just not worth it for me to try to make $20 to make someone else's life miserable or to squeeze them.
I guess if you make enough $20.
But these, whatever. I'm getting frustrated with you. You're playing devil's advocate. I know what you're doing.
Well, no, I am. I like watching you curse. I like watching
Yeah.
you sweat. But no, I totally agree with you. I don't like scalpers. I don't like people that do that kind of crap. And I hate when you go to a toy shop or you go to a flea market and you think you're going to find some vintage stuff, and it's all the stuff that should be sitting on a Target shelf for $20, $30 more.
Yeah, I saw one person post one of these Black Series figures on Deal or No Deal, and it's like, dude, you're scalping.
Right. And that's the kind of crap that I hate on Deal or No Deal, is when people do that, because then one person does it, then they're going to have 10 other people do it. Because I've done that before. You know, I've seen somebody make a good deal on something, and then I'm like, it sells for that much. So then I'll throw it up, and it never does anything because you had one person that was interested in it.
Right. And you've already.
Yeah. And they've already scratched that itch, and nobody else
Right.
gives a damn.
Right. There was one that posted, he was posting something out of the trunk of his car at Target. I asked, what's the MSRP on that?
Justin's good about that crap, man.
Yeah,
He'll call people out.
He makes good trouble.
Yes, he does.
Just wrapping up these Clone Wars Black Series figures. These things are beautiful, though. They strike that nostalgic, and what, these are 5-6 years old, so they're not even like, I don't know if you can consider it nostalgic, but they look great on the card. They're beautiful. The Echo, it looks just like Tamora Morrison. Anakin doesn't look like Anakin. He doesn't look like Hayden, which is weird. But well, I think they're great figures.
Awesome.
Also during the hunt, I did find 2 retro figures. My wife went to Target, and I'm like, hey, while you're there, can you check to see if they have it? I did get Moff Gideon and Grief Karga.
Nice. Moff Gideon just looks like a cranky old man, dude.
But the representation on the face, like the face sculpt, looks great. It looks just like him, but simplified.
Right.
Like a young version of him.
I've got the I'm still contemplating if I'm going to open them. I think if I'm going to open them, I'm going to do like a live feed. Open up Facebook and do a live feed while we're doing the podcast, so you could watch me open them, and I want to hear you scream.
Oh. I also picked up the Emperor Royal Guard, which I'm so excited about. They repacked that, and Target had the vintage collection repack line with Akbar and Han and Luke, and I picked up the Emperor's Royal Guard, which I didn't get the first time around.
Yeah, I know you were excited about being able to pick that guy up.
Yeah, I just saved myself like $70-$80 by buying it.
Nice. And
then the last thing I got this week is the Black Series Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order, and I love that figure. That looked like something that just hopped out of the video game into a box.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really good figure.
I don't know. I don't know if that guy just annoys me, or some people just said that actor annoyed him. So I don't know if then the video game annoys me. I don't know. It's a cool game though. It's fun. It was fun playing. I enjoyed it.
I've never heard that perspective before, that he annoys people.
I think it's the actor that annoys people. And the fact that you have Jedis that nobody knew about.
That's the bigger problem, is that how many Jedis are supposed to be hidden right now?
Yeah.
None? Just Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
And Yoda?
And that in just that video game, there's 2 of them at least, plus all the kids.
Yep.
But
I also almost picked up a 65 back this week on eBay. Somebody mislabeled. I don't know if they mislabeled it, but I mean, that's the only thing I can think of as to why I had a $20 bid on Admiral Akbar for about 6 days. Min on card.
Nice.
He ultimately sold for $53, but I'm like, my mom's coming in today. I got a busy week, and I'm like, I'm not going to break the bank over this. And I know it's not that expensive, but with the Black Series Clone Wars figures, I'm like, that's the big whale this week. That's my white whale. So I'm not going to push and get a vintage figure, but it will be my goal this fall to kind of buckle down and get a couple vintage min on card figures.
Nice. Yeah, I can't do the min on. My wife has more min on cards than I do. I think the only min on card I have is the Fett, and I'm happy with that.
Well, I mean, $53 for a mint on card is a steal. So
Oh yeah,
I think some of the prices are starting to level out.
I think they are too. I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe people are realizing that. Never mind.
What?
I don't know. I don't know if people are realizing that they don't want mint on cards, or they just or
It's just speculation.
speculation. I'm just speculating.
Yeah.
Our people are not don't want mint on cards. Maybe they realize they take up a shit ton of room and they don't like them versus a mint. What's it called? A loose figure, or maybe people are getting more into the variants than they are mint on cards, because I think variants are going to be the next big thing.
Yeah. Maybe. I see that the droids Boba Fett people were asking 10G for that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some figures that are just not going to go down.
No. I think that that 10K for the Fett droid was I don't want to sell it price.
Yeah. Is that too high for that?
I don't know. 10K for a mint on card, that it just seems crazy to me. I do know that that figure a few years ago was, in the 3,000 to 4,000 range. So
yeah, that seems like too much of a jump.
Yeah,
for no reason.
Right. Unless it was just that good of a figure. I mean, I don't know. I know, grades can make things jump, but
yeah,
dude, I don't know.
I just wanted to thank again Jordan, Gasly, DJ, Mark, and Tim for keeping an eye out for me for those figures. I really appreciated it, and I wanted to thank everybody who listened last week.
Yeah, dude,
that was a monster episode.
Yeah, that was the best episode yet. Let me check it real quick before. Come on, phone.
Yeah, we're slowly growing, yeah. And it's been great, and
yeah, it's at 142. So that's and the other episodes are starting to catch up to break 100, starting to break 100. So it looks like the last 5 or 6 episodes, last month or two worth of episodes are starting to break 100. So that's good. So thanks for listening.
There's a new mug at Galaxy's Edge that I really want.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not. I don't know how I feel about it. It's weird. I need to see it in person. I'm glad it's not in Oga's, because I think it would break if it was an Oga's mug.
Yeah.
Tell them what it is.
It's a mythosaur. What's the other way to say it?
I call it a bantha skull.
Well, yeah, it's a bantha skull, but I think
mythosaur, whatever Chance calls them.
It's the Boba Fett logo, but the horns kind of pop out of the mug. It's almost like it's carved, except the horns from the bantha skull kind of pop out of the mug and kind of come out a little bit.
Yeah, it gives it like a 3D effect.
Yeah, like it's almost peeling out of the mug or something, and it's just really weird to look at. But it does fall in line with the in-universe, custom made, not, I don't know, made in a factory somewhere kind of feel to it.
Yeah, I did see somebody had posted them with a couple of other Olga's mugs, and on the picture it at least looked like it matches really. They did a good job matching it, but I know the Olga's mugs are ceramic and that one's plastic.
Right. Oh, it's plastic?
Yeah. It looks plastic. I'll have to.
That would make sense because it's right next to the new Boba Fett helmet, rocket pack, and gauntlets that are for kids.
Freaking kids. They get all the cool stuff.
And someone said it's maybe about 80% in size compared to like an actual thing. So it is shrunk down for kids. It's not like it can try to put it on. It'd be like Fat Man with a little jetpack on my back.
We could look like Dad Fed if we wanted to. Really look like Dad Fed with those.
We paint ourselves green and be Hulk. We've hulked out from Boba Fett, and it barely fits us because we've grown.
That'd be great. And then you missed the best part that they.
I know. I was waiting for it.
Oh, dude, I want to drive down to Disney World and pick this up right now.
Yeah, how fast do these things sell out?
I think it sold out in a day. But, quote unquote, sold out.
They just went through their current inventory.
Right.
They haven't retired it yet.
No, they're not. Dude, they would never retire this thing. We're talking about the Darksaber. They released one for $200.
Yeah, the legacy lightsabers are $120, and this thing's $200.
but it comes with the blade. You have to realize with the Legacy sabers, they don't come with the blade.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
So you're paying another $50 for the blade. So it's right. Once you add in the blade cost, it's right in line of where it should be.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Compared to Hasbro's 250 one that they haven't released yet.
Right.
Or is it just rumored at this point? Is that even official?
It's official, but
Okay.
I don't.
I
Yeah,
don't
I would
remember.
pay the one because I know that. I'm assuming the ones from Disney are going to be a little bit better quality or a lot better quality than the ones from Hasbro, or at least that's what I'm seeing. But I haven't I haven't compared the two. But yeah, save you $50 and get a trip to Disney World. Why not?
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's available in September.
Yeah, I am too, because you may be sneaking one back up for me. Come
Take two?
September.
I'll take 2, please.
Yes.
One for each hand.
Yeah. Oh, but I saw the video of it. It's just like it's got the sounds down. Somebody had said that it doesn't seem to have the clashing, but I don't know if I'd want to play fight with that thing. That would just sit on a shelf somewhere. Because it just looks awesome. But the sound is there, the blade is there, the light is there. That's the freaking Darksaber, man.
Yeah. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Does it have
a kyber crystal in there?
I don't think it does. I don't know if any of the Legacy sabers have kyber crystals in them. Do they?
I don't know. I only have the one I'm built.
I don't think it's like not the Doc Ondors, the Savvy sabers, where you could put a kyber crystal in them. I think they're more one piece. I know the Leia one has a different emitter when you want to put a blade on it.
Yeah.
So they've done stuff like that because they did the same thing. Hasbro did the same thing for like the Emperor saber. When you put the blade on it, the emitter, you change the emitter out or something. They've started doing that more on their Black Series things. And even the Darksaber has a piece you put on it so you don't see the light bulbs and stuff in the handle, in the hilt.
Mhm.
So it covers that up so it looks more, you could cosplay with it if you want. But yeah, you may be buying me one.
We'll see come September.
Come September. Fingers crossed.
The Empire Group is at the New Jersey Toy Show right now, and Mark was messaging me. He found an Obi-Wan, but he's like, "Do you want me to buy you it because it's scalper prices?" I'm like, "No. Just went on a rant, like literally 5 minutes ago, and I'm not buying from a scalper."
And Mark's good about pushing buttons too. He's
Well, he doesn't even know. That's the funny part. I just got finished with my rant. He doesn't even realize that. Just funny timing.
Yeah, Mark's a good guy, man.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, all those Empire Group guys, they're good. They're good people.
See you in a month.
Oh yeah,
I'm going up there.
Dog.
And then Funko's doing their Funko thing and making more Mando stuff before Hasbro.
Yeah.
You see all those pops?
I did. I'm so glad I sold my Fett pops.
Yeah.
Because then I'd have to buy at least a dad bod Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I got out of it. I probably could have held on to them and made a little bit more money, but it's just easier to short sell them and make more than what you got in them and run away.
Right. And to be out of it.
Yeah. Well, I still got I still got a couple of hundred pops staring me down right now.
But I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why does it take them 2 months to make these Funko pieces, but then it's like Hasbro takes a year and a half?
Because Funko's, I think it's because they've already got the bodies, or it's not as big of a deal, or, I don't know. Maybe because the production, Funko's got their ish together and Hasbro don't.
Maybe it's the stylized version of them, like you're saying. It's just quick to switch out a body and then boom, you're done.
Right.
Maybe.
Or the R&D is not as bad, or because it's not actuated or whatever. Or maybe because they don't have to deal with China. Maybe because they don't have to deal with Disney. Well, they still got to deal with Disney.
They still have to deal, yeah. But maybe it's some of the other things.
Or maybe it's because Hasbro didn't piss off Lucasfilm like Funko did. Watch the Toys That Made Us, people. You'll listen.
Oh,
You'll understand it.
I have to go back and rewatch it because I'm like, maybe I'm just half asleep. I don't know, but I'm like, can you explain that?
Well, it's because when they did the rights, when Kenner lost the rights to the Funko line, to the Star Wars line, and then when they had to renegotiate, it was just a big ordeal.
Right, like $10,000 a year was all they had to pay to keep the license, and then 86 is like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
It's
and then
like,
all
no,
of they
you
forget
should have kept that on the line.
Right. Well, it's because when Hasbro bought Kenner, they forgot to pay the check one year, and then Star Wars was like, "Oh yeah, I got you now, sucker."
Cha-ching!
Yep. Because basically what happened was when George Lucas released Star Wars, he didn't have a toy line, and nobody knew what Star Wars was going to be, and nobody wanted to produce it. So Kenner just gave him like 1% of the royalties, and then when it came time for Hasbro to do it, he got like 10 or 20% or something insane. So just watch the Toys That Made Us. They explain it a lot better than I just did.
I remember.
Plus, it's cool just watching. Speaking of Toys That Made Us, it's cool rewatching it like for the third or fourth time. How many people we know that's on the show?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch it. That's a good suggestion. I'm sure like Jim Swearinger and Tim Effler.
Yes. I don't know if Tim's not on it, but Jim's on it. Jim Swearinger's on it. What's the guy? I keep screwing his name up. Steve, I think Sansweet's on it.
Steve.
Gus Lopez is on it. You've got Ron Salvatore's on it. I think the Limpkes are on it for like 2 seconds.
All right, I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Go watch it, dude. It is like, I know that guy.
This is my first day on vacation, so I got plenty to do this week. I mean, I have nothing to do, so I want to fill it up with stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you getting like 2 weeks vacation, dude?
Almost.
Wow.
I'm off this week, and then after Memorial Day, I go in for 2 days, and then I go to the lake for like a long weekend. So it does feel like it's 2 weeks, and then the following weekend, I'm running up to New York, but I'm not taking any vacation days. But yeah,
awesome. You're gonna be a busy man.
This is going to be an insane summer. I got my sister-in-law coming down for like 3 weeks, but then she's going to go to like my mother-in-law for a couple weeks. So she's going to be here to like June to August almost. And then I'm going up to Michigan. Hopefully I'll dodge coronavirus because that was bad a couple weeks ago. For a wedding during our summer social, so I'll have to miss that for family.
Oh, that's gonna suck, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, it's family. I love my family.
Yeah,
I'm just playing it up for the show.
Star Wars for family.
Star Wars is my family.
That's right.
Take that, cuz.
Sorry, I can't go because all my Star Wars nerd friends are getting together, and I'm gonna miss your wedding.
Send me a video. There was a couple other news pieces that dropped this week, and I thought maybe one was because of the other. Well, first, Variety reported that Rangers of the New Republic is no longer in development.
Right.
Which is not a surprise, but there was some speculation that maybe she was coming back because she posted something on Twitter like all the answers to your prayers are gonna happen. So people were like, does that mean that Cara Dune's coming back to The Mandalorian? And then Variety said that it's no longer in development, so it's like that can't be it. And then Dave Filoni was promoted last summer, but StarWars.com just updated it and there was no announcement. And I thought maybe the two were connected so that one was just distracting from the Variety piece, which may be the case, but it's also, he was promoted last summer. So who knows? He was promoted to what, VP of
VP of
creative
something, VP of Star Wars, just that one step down from Kennedy or whatever. I don't know. I'm making crap up.
No, there's a couple of VPs like Doug Chang and John Knoll, co-creator Photoshop. They're all VPs. I think he's like creative development or something like that for, I don't know. It's where he belongs. But I mean, I heard rumors that he was resistant to that because he wanted to make shows, and if he's in a VP in a room somewhere, he's gonna not be able to make shows.
Right.
Be on the ground, kind of shooting and writing and stuff. But maybe he still can do that. But yeah, don't believe the Kathleen Kennedy rumors that she's leaving or that there's some sort of civil war going on. Lucasfilm is fine, and I think it's a very healthy organization. I think it's the fans that are just trying to insert some sort of storyline that there's problems when there really isn't any problem.
Yeah. Well, we get bored, so we got to cause rumors, and
Yeah,
we're the worst. We're the worst fan base there is, man.
I don't know. I think there's worse. I can't think of any on the top of my head, but it can't be us. We're passionate, and that's
I think it kind of kills us. I don't know. It just, we expect stuff from it, and we know our brand, and when people mess with it, it gets us upset.
Yeah. Did you have anything else for news this week?
No. You covered it all.
Okay. And then as far as the Market Watch on eBay, a 48 back Empire Strikes Back Bosk sold for $668.
Jeez.
Star Wars Death Squad Commander 20 back sold for $290. It had a dented bubble, but the bubble was pretty clear. The card back looked great. It took me a couple seconds to try to figure out why this only sold for about $300, which is, again, part of the reason why I thought maybe prices were coming down.
Right.
There was a Black Series Jaina Solo. It was number 56 that sold for $45. And I thought at one point that was going for much higher. The Target, what?
Oh, nothing. I was lucky and found that at GameStop. But anyway.
This ARC Trooper Clone Wars is selling for about $55 on eBay. I haven't checked it lately. This was maybe Thursday this past week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, scalpers are out there. Try to avoid them. And then CW13 Cad Bane sold for $20.
Damn. That seems like a steal to me, but is it?
It seemed average.
Okay.
I think it's a legacy collection. I should look at some of those figures for next week or for the next episode we record, because those are just, I think those are a couple $100.
Okay.
Did you watch The Bad Batch?
I did. I need to start coming at it from a Clone Wars mind and not a Mandalorian mind, because I think the episodes are dragging.
Oh, really?
Just because I mean, they're building on it, but it just feels like nothing's being accomplished. If that makes sense, or
there's no, yeah, I know what you're saying. There's nothing really that we're aiming for. We're just kind of wandering through the galaxy.
Yes.
Just trying to make our way. I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the galaxy.
Right. And gosh, I don't even barely, I watched it last night when I got home from work, and I fell asleep during it. I'm Omega. I was just tired, so I ended up pausing it, and I fell asleep during I need to rewatch it, because during the space battle, not during the space battle, during the speeder chase, I fell asleep.
That was one of the best parts of the show so far.
I know, and I need to
really
rewatch
tired.
it. Yeah, I don't know what it was. That's how bad of a week I've had, but I mean, yeah, it was cool seeing what's her face from The Mandalorian. It was cool, Fennec Shan, right?
Yep.
Phoenix Shan.
Fennec,
whatever. I still said it wrong after you, but
anyway,
right. It was cool seeing her. It's good. It's cool. There's a bounty on everybody's head. Yeah, same. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it, but I'm not like, oh my God, the Bad Batch, like everybody else seems to be.
Yeah.
What's your feelings on it?
I'm enjoying it so far. I keep speculating to my son that I think that Wrecker, he keeps hitting his head.
Uh-huh.
And he hit his head in episode 3, like they were landing, and he just kind of bopped his head on the protective over the shoulder things, like seatbelts or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep thinking like it's going to mess with his chip. He's going to malfunction and go to the other side or something. In this episode, Fennec slammed, in the last episode, Cornered, Fennec slammed his face into a panel. I'm like, this chip is going to malfunction, right? Or are they just, because he's so hard-headed that he can literally just bang his head and be fine? Is that where they're going with that? I don't know.
I really think that now that you say, I think that they're focusing on those chips too much. Something's got to give with those, or they'll either figure it out, or yeah, like you said, it'll trigger, or they're either going to figure it out how to fix Crosshair, or something's going to trigger on one of the guys. It has to.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm enjoying it. Like you're saying though, it's just kind of wandering, and there's no goal. Like we need to find a quiet place in the universe to kind of rest and relax. It's just like, let's go here, let's go there. And I didn't pick it up, but it wasn't until later in the episode I realized that Pantera.
It's Pantera. Pandora's the other blue people.
Yeah, right. And that's what I was kind of struggling with. But then it clicked that, yeah, the Panterans, that's the species that George Lucas portrayed in Revenge of the Sith.
Right. And the only reason I caught it was because I'd heard another podcast, or we had mentioned it or whatever, but I'd heard it somewhere else like a week or two before. So it was fresh in my mind. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, it's those blue people, because Pantera and Pandora, they're so close and they're both blue. And it's like, did somebody do that on purpose?
And the captain of the Star Wars hotel is going to be from that planet.
Right.
So
that's probably where I heard it from, because it's very close. Yeah, it's the same species.
But I'm waiting for them to go to Batuu. It's like, this is Disney. They're the king of corporate synergy. It's like, when are we going to go there?
I really want to see it to be like, yes, I've been there. I've been to Batuu. I've been, because they're hinting at it on other shows. It's just not been, in your face.
Right. It's like, why not?
Oh, they'll do it. They've got to.
Yeah, just one of them, please. Just go to Batuu. I want more from my corporate synergy.
Exactly. Yeah. Make me spend more money with you guys, and yeah, yeah, I can't wait. I really want them to be like walking to Oga's or walk in, because it is yeah, you kind of feel it. You could feel that they're going there. You could feel that they kind of at least copy stuff from Batuu without saying it's Batuu. But I mean, Star Wars is very repetitive anyway, as far as like buildings and stuff go.
Yeah, there's an aesthetic that they kind of just hit repeat on.
Right.
And we've mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but there was talk online about what to call action figure eras.
Yes.
And I've been giving it some consideration, so I just have a couple ideas I want to throw my hat in the ring. What are your thoughts on it? Do you have any thoughts?
I do have some thoughts, because I don't know. I kind of wrote some stuff down. Do you want me to just kind of run what I think we should? I've got like two things we can call them.
Yeah.
Because vintage, in my mind, this is what everybody considers vintage, is 77 to 85.
Yep.
So that needs to kind of stay vintage, quote unquote.
Yep.
Then you have the dark times. This is just me being very simple. Dark times is 85 to the 90s, early 90s. And then you kind of have post vintage, which could be 90s from into 2000. And then you have modern / Disney, which would be the 2000s to present day.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my simple thing. And then my second thing is, because you go when you deal with comic books, they have the golden age, the silver age, the bronze age. Well, you could come up with a Star Wars metal, like Beskar. It could be the modern stuff.
That's fun.
It would be more fun than postmodern and Disney and all this other crap. But you could do like Carbonite. Since we know Carbonite, we've known Carbonite forever. That could be like the vintage line. The vintage, 77 to 85 could be, you could say, oh, that's Carbonite. That's the Carbonite era. And then I found one because I Googled real quick, just Googled Star Wars medals, and they have 10 in the Star Wars universe. So why not call that Power of the Force 2? Just call that the 10 era because it's crap.
Oh man.
Have a little fun with it is what I was thinking,
Call it the Masters of the Universe era too.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. The Potoof. That's
Powers
perfect.
of the Universe. Yeah.
Oh. What's your thoughts?
I kind of along the same lines with the vintage, like you're thinking, like 77 through 85 is just, everyone calls that vintage, so let's just call it the vintage era. And I tried to keep it all simple, and so from 86 to 98 I would consider that to be the classic modern era, because those are considered modern figures, but they're not modern anymore. They're 25 years old, and that includes the dark times. So you'd get your bendies and what do they call them, bendums,
Yeah.
and anything else that came during that time. Just call it the classic modern. And then from 99 to 2012, right up until Disney bought Star Wars, we'd just call it the prequel era.
Okay.
Because that includes the Clone Wars and obviously all the prequels. Prequels came out in 99, so and then following that would be the Disney era from 2013 to the modern times. And the only issue with calling it the Disney era is that 20 years from now we'll still be calling it the Disney era, and so it's like we'll have to find some other ways to differentiate sections of the Disney era.
Right. Because this will all go out the window in another 20 years. Because
right.
Just unless you have to keep renaming whatever era you're in, or the last era. And then when does the era end, and when does a new one begin? But I do like the how you guys had it, because you said it was what was the one from 85 to 2000 or.
I have it from 86 to 98, and that would be the classic modern era.
See, that makes sense. And because everybody's always like, well, it's, made 25 years ago. It's vintage. It's like, we're weird as Star Wars fans. So you've got to understand that, yes, technically 25 years is quote unquote vintage. We don't consider that vintage. Because our vintage stuff is sacred and holy, and it's from 77 to 85.
We hear angels talk when we touch it. Oh,
we do. And the way you're paying for the way the stuff keeps going up, you're going to be with the angels if you keep buying them.
Yeah.
But I do like that postmodern or
classic modern.
Classic modern. Sorry. Yeah. I meant to write that down and I started talking. But I like that. And yeah, then you're that sounds really good. So you're a classic modern, and then what was after that?
Prequel era,
and then Disney. Yeah.
Disney era, vintage era, classic modern era, prequel era, Disney era.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And the Clone Wars fall into that prequel era, so it's all part of the same prequels. So.
Or do you want to just start calling stuff Clone Wars? Because you've got a whole bunch of stuff that deals with Clone Wars.
But that's still prequels.
Okay.
It all takes place before the vintage collection, the original trilogy.
Yeah, you're right, because that's the cartoon, and
yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that came out for that cartoon.
Yeah,
which that stuff keeps going up. I mean, well,
that's why I tried to fold in the Cad Bane from this week. I'm like, that's only $20. That's not bad. But
no, I was talking to Chance. I had bought the Mandalorian ship just on a whim a couple of ICs ago, full of figures with the Pre-Vizsla. Everything's complete. It has 4 or 5. It has, I think, 5 Mandos with it and a Pre-Vizsla, and all those are complete. And the ship's complete. I've got instructions and everything. And I was talking to Chance about it. And he goes, I know somebody who wants that ship. That's like their holy grail ship. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. And then we started just looking at prices, and I could probably get, $500 to $600 for something I paid $150 for on a whim 2 years ago. And if I didn't like Mandalorians as much as I do, that thing be gone for $600.
You're talking about the one that the wings kind of fold up and fold down.
Yeah.
Like the single fighter.
Yes. But it's more, because there's 2 versions of it. It's not the one that you're seeing in the Mandalorian that you see Bo-Katan in, because I don't think they made that ship. It's the more the one you see everybody else in, that it's a troop carrier, or it's instead of it being the real pointy nose, it's got a rounded nose on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it when I watched the Clone Wars for the first time, I was like, that's not the right ship. But then they show it later on, and it's not as popular as the one that Bo-Katan is in, and that Ezra ends up stealing from Darth Maul.
Okay. Trying to jog my memory, but I'm sure when I see a photo, I'll be like, boom, there it is. I remember.
Yep. Yeah, once you see it, you'll understand it. But yeah, it was just one of those moments where you're like, damn, I wish I didn't like that as much as I do. Because there's other stuff I could buy, like that early bird kit they have sitting in the shelf.
Is it still sitting there?
It's still sitting there. I think it's a good price. It's a fair price, but I think they kind of priced it so that it would get people in the door. So people would come in and look at it and be like, ooh and ah, and let it. I think they purposely priced it where they priced it at to let it sit for a few months.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. But everybody does that. They got that one piece to get people in the door. So I can't blame them.
Yeah. It's a beautiful piece.
Yes.
I plan on going back this week. I got my nephew coming in town and my brother. And so we're just going to go second chance. It's right around the corner.
Right. Oh, you poor baby.
I know. I got to make sacrifices for the family.
I'm going to take you to this little hole in the wall toy store.
Yeah, you're not going to like it. So just deal. There's a lot of things there, though, I think my brother would like because he's into some of that stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been building my Lego Razor Crest, and that thing, yeah, Legos are awesome. It takes me, I build it because what I like about the new Legos, just because, I'm sorry, because it's got my brain jogging because we're talking about Chance, and I sold him my extra Razor Crest. So I've been building that, and it's been cool because Legos, I remember, back 30 years ago when you build Legos, everything's just in one big bag. And now they've kind of started to separate stuff so you can build it in stages.
Yeah.
So you can open, one bag and build that for an hour. So you're not sitting there for 4 or 5 hours, hating yourself at the end of the Lego build. But the research and development that go into Legos is pretty damn impressive. And I've seen people that have started to build they did a Star Destroyer, and that thing is massive. Yeah. And the R&D behind that has got to be crazy.
Yeah, we've built the Falcon. My son and I, we built the Black Pearl. And yeah, they came in those bags, and so you can do it in stages.
Which
They're
really
fun.
saves. Yeah.
It's fun.
Right. So instead of cursing at the end of it, you're like, all right, I could set a goal and build, you feel like you completed something when you're done with one of those baggies.
And they also put they used to, I don't know if they do that today, but they used to put like one minifigure in each bag. So it's not like you can just open up the minifigures. It's like you got to go through 1 to get the minifigure, then you have to go through 2 to get the next minifigure, and go through 3 to get the next one, and so on.
Yeah, they did that on the Razor Crest. I think the first bag had Mando and the Scout Trooper, Biker Scout, and then you had Baby Yoda in the next one. And now the last one I opened had IG-88. So then I'm assuming one of the next ones is going to have Grief Karga in it. I think was the 4th figure that came with that set. It's
IG-11. Excuse me.
Sorry, IG-11.
People are screaming at you in their car.
I told them I don't know everything, and I'm going to screw things up. So you're more than welcome to email me at smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com and yell at me, or message me on Facebook or Instagram.
Right.
Or write a nasty review on iTunes.
No, don't do that.
This guy don't know what he's talking about. No,
don't do that.
Nasty. At least,
no.
Tell everybody how much you love us.
But I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Yeah, I think we can, because we're right at an hour. So instead of going into the next topic, because of it being everything, we've got holidays coming up, and I'm gonna be out of town, and you're gonna be out of town, and so we're trying to figure everything out. So I think we're gonna record another episode here in a minute, and then we'll release 2 episodes, or not 2, I'm releasing the veil. I'm opening the veil. I think you guys really like the fact that we don't try to hide anything. So. But yeah, we're going to record another episode here in a minute so we can release them every week and keep you guys up to date on the smugglers.
Yes.
Awesome, Jason. Well, I'm gonna cut it, and then we'll take a pee break, and then we'll record the next episode.
Make it. What was I gonna say?
Were you gonna say make it so?
I was, and then I'm like, don't say that, man. That's Star Trek. I don't even watch Star Trek.
But it's just such an iconic make it so.
Make it so.
And I'll end it with this is the way.
This is the way. That's the word in this podcast.